welcome back to another episode of our Ultimate Decades Challenge. We have entered into the year 1407A, and we are here with our Barnett family. We have entered into their family because, as we know, we do have our wife here that is expecting to have a little one, so we are just waiting for her to go ahead and go into labor. She is in the kitchen and she is just whipping up a little bit of breakfast for the family. Additionally, we are going to be seeing when Theo gets up, he is going to be aging up into an adult. So we are going to be having him age up, and I am hoping that he is going to have a successful birthday for this part, because as we know, he does have this new wife. He is going to be expecting a new child soon, and we definitely want him to be able to stick around for, you know, the child being born, and obviously to be able to be here to help raise all of these children, because as we well know, his new wife here, Deborah, she does not actually care for children. She is not really a big fan, so she gets a little bit tense when she's around children. She's not too thrilled about the fact that she's pregnant, and so the fact that she is actually currently in her third trimester and about to go into labor is not that thrilling for her. So she's really just not really overall in a happy place about this news or the upcoming birth of their baby. She obviously knows that this is something that needs to take place. They definitely need to expand their family, but she does find that it is making her a little bit tense. It's not necessarily something that she really wants. And so if something were to happen to Theo and he were to not be able to age up for his birthday here, she would be left with all these kids. But he is going to go ahead and blow out his candles, and then we will roll the dice and see if he is going to be able to make it for his adult birthday roll up. So he's going to go ahead and walk on outside around the house here and go to the place where he can age himself up. And we will see Theo go ahead and age up into his adult status. And then once he does that, we will roll the dice for him to see if he is going to successfully age up into an adult, or if we are going to have to take him away from the family. So Theo is aging up, and it says he has reached adulthood. He is fulfilling dreams, planning for retirement, and midlife crises await. So he is aged up officially. We are going to go ahead and open up the dice, and we're going to see if he is able to go ahead and roll to find out if he is going to make it. For that, he can't roll a 3, 6, 11, 13, or an 18. So we will roll to find out if he is going to be able to survive the death roll. So let's go ahead and give that a spin. And he rolls a 5, which is a successful roll, so he will get another 60 days on the timeline. So Theo has gone ahead and survived his adult age up and is going to be able to continue on with his family. He is going to be able to see Deborah's child be born, and he will be able to welcome another kid into the household, which is going to be fantastic. So we absolutely love to see that. So now we just have to wait for Deborah to go ahead and go into labor. But another birthday that we do have is over in the O'Leary family, I believe. And so we are going to go ahead and head over there, and we are going to age up that little one. She, I believe, is aging up into a child. So let's go ahead and head over into the O'Leary family, and we are going to get the O'Leary daughter aged up, and then we will see her age up into a child. So over here in the O'Leary family, we do have, what is her name? Or Nerida, I believe, that is aging up. She is going to be aging up into a child. I'm just checking to see if we have a birthday cake here in the house, but it doesn't seem like it, and it also doesn't seem like we are able to currently make a birthday cake. So I may actually just have to age up Nerida the old-fashioned way and just go into MC Command Center and just age her up that way, because it doesn't look like Annabelle is going to actually be able to make a cake, so we hate that. But I am going to go ahead and age her up. So we'll age up Nerida here to a child, and then we'll hop into Cass and give her her makeover, and then we will roll the dice to see if she is going to have a successful birthday roll as well. And she is aging up, and we are going to go ahead and randomize her traits It looks like she is going to be a slob. She is going to be a natural singer. And I'm just going to go ahead and pick squeamish, I believe, for her. And then we are going to give her the artistic prodigy aspiration. And let's go ahead and jump into Cass and do her makeover. So this is what Nerida O'Leary looks like as a child. She is super cute. And we are going to need to go ahead and roll the dice for her to see if she is going to be able to make it. For that, she can't roll a 3 or a 9. So we will go ahead and roll the dice and see if she is going to survive. And she rolls a 10, which is a successful roll. So she is going to get another, I believe, 28 days on the calendar. And so I will put her on the timeline as well. And as you can see, she is absolutely loving this rocking chair. She's just having a really good time playing here. We have gone ahead and aged her up. I did give her a children-sized bed in her room, which is fantastic. And Arlene is just out here getting a little bit of imagination skill. But I think I'm going to go ahead and have Arlene do a little bit of the house chores. We're going to have her collect the eggs and scatter the feed, clean the coop, and do the things that needs to be done. And Axel wants to like silly behavior. Yeah, you can go ahead and do that. So we are just going to go ahead and make sure some of our chores are done, and then we will probably have Annabelle come and check the bees, which actually seem to be doing okay. So I may get her to check on some of the other things around the house, but then we will be having Arlene go out and probably get a little bit of foraging done. As we know, we are trying to get her foraging skill up. I do want her to have a good solid foundation in foraging, because as she ages up, she will need to be able to forage things for her family once she's married, and she'll need to be able to go out and forage to provide for her family once she moves into her own place with her spouse and starts having children of her own, so that they can acquire things for the garden that they're going to have for their family. So I am going to send her out and let her forage and things like that. So right now I'm just going to get Axel to come over here to the scarecrow, and he can check for some seeds, and we'll see if we can get any seeds off of the scarecrow, and maybe we'll be able to get some things that we can plant for this season, because we are still in the fall, into our garden, because we haven't been able to find anything different when we go out foraging. I am, like I said, gonna send Arlene out to look, but it looks like he did get some pear seeds from the scarecrow, so we can plant pears. So I am gonna go ahead and plant the pears here. We'll just plant a couple of those, so we'll have some pear trees growing, and that'll be fantastic. But we are going to go ahead and then let them kind of just take care of a little bit of their needs. It does look like people are starting to get a little bit hungry, so maybe Annabelle can whip up a little bit of a meal for them while Arlene goes out and gets a little bit of foraging done. So Annabelle will get some food cooked up. Arlene will go out and do some really quick foraging. Everyone else will grab themselves a bite to eat. And then when Arlene comes back, she will be able to grab a serving of food as well from what has been cooked by Annabelle. So that'll be fantastic. Now, as we know, Thomas, I believe his wife is not pregnant but needs to try for a baby in this episode. We had Theo's wife who is expecting, and Annabelle, as we know, with Axel, they are not scheduled or able to have any more children. So this family is just carrying on the way they are, and we are just currently waiting for Arlene to age up so that she can become a teenager and find herself a love match. Now, she did make a couple of friends, or a friend, with one of the local town boys, and we are hoping to continue to build on that friendship so that once they become teenagers together, maybe they can build a little bit of romance. So I'm hoping that's going to go in our favor. But until then, we are just waiting for Arlene to be able to age up. So currently right now, it does look like Annabelle has gone off to work. She did get a little bit of food made here, and then she headed herself off to her job. And Axel and Nerida are just getting themselves a little bit to eat here while Arlene is out finishing up her foraging. And they are just spending a little bit of quality time together. I do think at some point Axel will probably end up heading off to work as well, and then it will just be Nerida here by herself. And while she's here by herself, we'll probably let her work on a little bit of her skill building as well, so she may be able to work on some imagination and possibly even work on, you know, socializing with some of the farm animals to build up a little bit of a relationship with them, and maybe even work on a little bit of painting. Now my focus is not as much with Nerida as it is with Erlene, because as we know, she isn't our heir, and when she grows up, she will be marrying. This O'Leary name is going to die out because she will take her husband's name. So, I mean, it is what it is. They didn't have a son, and she will marry and she'll take her husband's name. So the O'Leary name is going to die out, and she's not necessarily my big focus. We definitely want to give her some skills and let her have a little bit of a balanced life, but my main focus as far as skills go is really to build up Erlene, because she is, as we know, our heir. Now she does live in this house, and this technically is our main household, but Erlene is my main focus. She just happens to live here with her aunt and uncle and cousin because, you know, they've allowed her to come and live with them so that she didn't have to live in the orphanage any longer. So it does look like Erlene is still taking her time out there, looking around for things to forage, and so when she finishes with that, we will have her come on and get herself something to eat. She's kind of feeling a little bit grossed out. She, as we know, is a little bit squeamish, so she's feeling a little bit uncomfortable right now from being squeamish, and additionally she has a loose tooth, so she's kind of feeling, you know, a little bit tense, I think, about all of these things. I am going to go ahead and I'm just going to let Axel head himself off to work. He definitely needs to go ahead and get himself off to his career, and we're going to let Nerida just do a little bit of her imagination skill. And when she's done with that, I'm going to have her go on down and she can socialize with some of the animals, get to know some of the chickens and roosters, and then she can also maybe socialize with our goat. She obviously can't really do anything else from, you know, the fact that Erlene's already kind of taking care of some of the chores as far as collecting the eggs and things like that, and she doesn't have any gardening skill yet. So she can't really even do the weeding or anything like that. She could maybe talk to the plants, but other than that, there's not really anything that she could do. So she is just going to socialize with the animals, and then I'm probably going to get her maybe working on a little bit of painting so we can get her a little bit of painting skill. Now she might be able to talk to the scarecrow, and if she talks to the scarecrow, maybe she can get a little bit of gardening skill that way. I'm not sure if that actually is how that works, but let's get her to talk to the scarecrow. Maybe she can get a little bit of gardening skill from him. We'll just have to see. If anything, you know, maybe she'll be able to build up a little bit of a friendship with him. So we'll oh, she got scared by him. Oh my goodness. So she is just trying to, you know, discuss the birds with him, discuss gardening with him, and get to know him a little bit better. But I am going to have her go over here and do a little bit of a painting. Hopefully she can finish that up, and then we will be able to get that sold. And then I'm going to have to send her off to the washroom because it does look like she is kind of starting to need to take care of that need. And then once she has finished with all of those things, hopefully it will be about time for Erlene to come back from foraging, because she has really been gone for quite a long time. It's taking her a little bit longer than I had anticipated it to take her to get all of this foraging done, and then we will find out what it is that Erlene has brought home from her adventures out into the forest. Now, when Erlene does get back, she is going to need to go to the washroom, and she's going to need to take a bath. She's feeling, you know, just a little bit grungy. That always happens when our Sims go out into the forest. They come back feeling a little bit dirty and feeling like they need to kind of freshen themselves up. So we will have to go ahead and let her do that. I was just kind of looking into her inventory to see if it showed me anything that maybe she had already found, but that doesn't really seem to be the case. So we definitely will have to wait until she returns to find out what she's brought home. So it does look like Erlene is back. We're going to let her go ahead and go on into the washroom and then get herself a bath. It does look like she has found some onions. I don't think we actually have any onions planted. So if we don't have any onions planted, we'll probably go ahead and plant some onions, because I do think that we can plant onions at this time. So we'll get some onions planted, and then that will add obviously to our garden for the fall season. So we'll get some of those planted up, and then everything else was already in her inventory. So the extra pears, I think she found those as well. So we'll just put everything in the fridge and we'll just call it a day. She did find some seeds also out in the forest, and so we'll put the seeds in the fridge. Obviously the seeds I think are used to make bread and things of that nature. So we'll put those things in the fridge so that Annabelle will be able to use that to make different items for the house as well. So once she has gone ahead and gotten herself a bath, as you can see, she is just going to go downstairs and she's going to play a little bit of chess. Looks like we're going to have these girls play a little bit of chess together, and they're going to spend a little bit of quality time together. I think that obviously with the girls being a little bit older, I think they will probably be able to build their relationship up a little bit quicker now. Obviously there is still that age gap between them. Erlene is, obviously due to age up to a teenager not too far away from now, and Nerida literally just became a child. So there is that age gap between them, but because they are now both in that child era, I think they're going to be able to see that they're going to have a lot in common. They're going to have things that they will be able to find common ground with, and I think that's going to help Erlene and Nerida to build a little bit more of a friendship and a little bit more of a closer bond. So I am going to have them come on down, play a little chess together, and start to have a little bit of a conversation. They can maybe talk about some of their interests and hobbies and things that, they like doing, and hopefully they can start to build up a little bit of a friendship, a little bit more of a closer relationship. I mean, they are cousins, so they are already a little bit close, but obviously that age gap kind of kept them from being as close as they could be. And I'm thinking now that they are kind of closer in age at the present moment, maybe they can build up a little bit more of a relationship. My hope for them is that as they get older, they will be able to stay close, and then when they marry and they have children, that their children will be able to grow up together and their children will be able to be friends. Like, that's my hope, obviously. And so I do want them to have a nice, close, loving relationship so that they can always remain friends and remain close to one another, and their children will be able to do the same, and everyone will be having a really nice, tight bond. So as you can see, Nerida has decided to head on off, and I think that it is starting to get a little bit late, so people will probably start wanting to head themselves off to bed. I do expect that we will probably be seeing the parents come home soon, and then they will all start wanting to go to bed. I'm actually quite surprised that we haven't heard from Deborah yet, because I do expect that, she's probably going to need to be going into labor. So I do think we probably will be needing to check in with her at some point soon and find out why it is that it hasn't told me that she has gone into labor. She should have already gone into labor. We've spent an entire day with this family without a notification that she's gone into labor. So I may have to check the settings and see if something has happened with her pregnancy that's causing her to not go into labor, because she definitely should have gone into labor and already had her baby by now. But we are just going to wait until our parents get home, and then we will probably go ahead and put them on into bed, and then I'm going to head us over to see the Barnett family again. Actually, let's go ahead and go check in on the Barnetts, and we will see how Deborah is doing. Okay, here in the Barnett home, as you can see, Deborah is still very pregnant. So she has not gone into labor. We are just going to kind of see what this family is up to and find out maybe why she has not gone into labor. She's still feeling really, really tense about the fact that she's pregnant. I am going to go ahead and get everyone to maybe get themselves a little bit of a bite to eat. It looks like everyone is feeling a little bit hungry. So she's going to call everyone to a meal, and then we're going to take a look and see what it is about her pregnancy that is the problem. But as you can see, she's feeling really, really tense. We did get a message from Theo that, he is not really as attracted to Deborah as he were in the beginning. I think the reason that he's kind of feeling like that is because she is uncomfortable and tense around. Look at that. See? Yeah, attraction has changed. I think the reason that he's feeling that way is just because she is not happy around the children. Like, she is tense around the children. She is not happy being around the children, and he can sense this about her. And, you know, Theo loves his children. He loves his life. He is thrilled about the fact that she's having a baby, and he does not understand that Deborah hates children. He doesn't understand that she can't get on really with his, you know, present children. And so he doesn't really understand why she feels this way. He can't relate at all. And I think her dislike and disdain for the way things are, the current situation of the family, and even the fact that she's currently pregnant, he just can't fathom how anyone could feel the way she feels. And it's caused him to have a little bit less attraction for her. Now we are going to go ahead and we're going to have Theo just take care of the little one here. Now, I think that in most cases, Deborah should have probably been the one trying to interact with the little one just to get herself even a little bit of parenting practice, because she is about to have a baby. And I think Theo would have been like, why are you not interacting with the baby? Why are you not trying to learn some things? You know, you're about to have a baby. And, you know, all she can think is, I don't want to. Like, I don't care to learn. This is something that you can handle. And he's thinking to himself, yeah, but when you have this baby, like, you're going to have to take care of the baby. It's going to be your role and your job, and it's something that you really need to learn. And so I think that he's just really kind of flabbergasted by her reaction to these responsibilities and her whole outlook, and he can't get on board with that. So I think maybe what I'm going to do is, because she's feeling so tense, I may go ahead and send Deborah out and let her go pick some flowers in the field. It'll get her away from the house, and maybe she can start to feel a little bit better being away from everyone. And then when she comes back, we'll go ahead and we will possibly check and see how she is doing in regards to her pregnancy and see what's going on. I have a sinking suspicion that there's a good possibility somehow her pregnancy was paused, and that's why she's not kind of going ahead and going into labor, because she has now spent 2 days in her third trimester and nothing is progressing, and she definitely should have gone ahead and gone into labor, and that just isn't the case. So once she's done spraying for weeds, I am going to go ahead, send her out, and let her do a little bit of flower picking. She's also going to do a little bit of care for the goats here. We do need to obviously milk them and even give them a little bit of a bottle feed, just to make sure that our goats are good and taken care of. So she's, you know, going to take care of some of the chores here around the house. And then she's going to head out and she's going to do some flower picking out in the field. And we'll see if we can get her mood up, because her being around these children has got her seriously tense. And then when she comes back, hopefully she'll be in a little bit better mood. We'll check her settings on her pregnancy and see about her going ahead and going into labor. And then obviously she'll be able to go into labor, and, you know, maybe if she's in a happy mood when she goes into labor, that'll be a good thing, because if I send her into labor when she's tense, I just don't know how that's going to go. But we are going to let her go ahead and deal with some of these goats here. You know, Theo is running around taking care of the children and, you know, conversating with them and making sure they're all tended to and they're happy and that they don't have anything that they need, because he is an amazing dad, and, you know, that's just something that he does. Because, again, he is definitely a family man, and he loves his family. He loves everything about his life, and that's probably why he just does not understand where Deborah's coming from. But he also is currently helping with the goats, and Deborah is going to take, it looks like, a little bit of a nap before she heads out to the field. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put some of these things in the fridge and put some of this milk in the fridge. And it does look like we have some things here that we can plant in our garden. So we are just going to have Theo come over and plant some grapes, because we can plant grapes here in the fall. So we'll get him to come over and just do a little bit of planting and make sure that we can get these grapes planted here for this season. And then we will get Deborah up and have her go ahead and go out into the field. Look at him. He's like, let me just clean up a little bit. This place is a wreck. Yes, it is. We may even have some laundry that needs to be tended to, and if we do, I may get him doing a little bit of wash. Look at him just give the kids a little bit of a story, and he's just seeing how they're doing. You know that, you're gonna have a little sibling soon, and they're like, oh, and he's like, yeah, it's so exciting, and they're like, we love that. And he's thinking, I really wish that Deborah was as excited about this baby as the rest of the family is. So I'm gonna get him to go ahead and add a little bit of flowers to this water for the laundry, and he's going to continue to chat with his children, and we are going to get Deborah up and send her off to go out into the field to search for some more flowers for the laundry, while Theo goes ahead and takes care of all of the children. It looks like this little one here needs a little bit of a diaper change, so we will go ahead and make sure that that's tended to, and he's just going to ensure that everybody is well cared for. And then it does look like he also has some needs that he needs to tend to for himself, so we'll make sure everyone's well cared for, and maybe we can actually even give the little one a bath. He's like, come on, let's go ahead and go have yourself your first bath, and he's feeling really excited to be sharing that milestone with his daughter. Look how tense she is. She's just over here cursing. She's just like, I am so unhappy. Why do I have to talk to you? Why do I have to interact with you at all? Okay, seriously, Deborah, go ahead and go on out to the field and maybe get yourself a little bit of some flower picking done. I think it'll be perfectly fine if you leave for a little while. I don't think Theo will mind. And even if you're, gone for, a little bit of time doing that, it'll be perfectly okay. We'll send you out. You'll go get some flowers. You'll come back in a better mood. And then we will, after that, check on your pregnancy. So she's going to go ahead and head out to go pick some flowers. So Deborah is home from picking flowers. She's just dealing with a little bit of the laundry, and we have taken a look at her pregnancy, and it was paused. We are going to go ahead and see her be going into labor soon because I have unpaused that. It looks like she wants to be neat. Okay, we love that for you. So we will be seeing her go into labor soon because we have unpaused her pregnancy. In the meantime, she's just going to get herself a little bit to eat here, and then we will be seeing her go into labor and have her little one. And they still love each other. Clearly you can see that. He just came in and gave her a little bit of a kiss. He's checking on her, and he's like, I do love you. He's just not on board with the fact that she obviously doesn't care for children. But he does love her. He does care for her. He just can't understand how she feels. Do you know? So we are just going to go ahead and see her go ahead and go on into labor soon. And then she is going to give birth to her little one. It looks like she is currently in labor. So let's go ahead and have her baby. It does seem there's an issue with the bassinet, so I may have to figure out what the problem is with that, and then we'll get her in there to have her baby. Maybe I need to reset something because of the pause that was on there. But I will get her to go ahead and have her baby. There we go. So let's go have our baby now. We're going to find out what it is that Deborah is having. And as we know, this is her first baby. So because of that, she will have an extra roll on the dice for her death roll, because she doesn't have anyone here with her that has had a baby before that is helping her through this. So she is going to go ahead and have that extra roll. So we will definitely have to see how that goes. But we are going to find out what it is that she is having, boy or girl, and then we will name the baby. And then we will do our dice roll. We have had a girl, so we are going to be naming this little baby Regina Barnett. And she has also had a boy. Okay, we've had twins. We are going to name this little boy Ren. So Ren Barnett, Regina and Ren. Okay, so she has officially had twins, and as we know, when you have twins, you have an extra roll, and you have an extra number on the roll. So she is going to need to pull up the dice here so we can roll for her, and we will look and see what numbers she can't roll. So for Deborah, she is not able to roll a 1, 11, 2, or 15, and she does have to roll the dice twice. So I am going to go ahead and open up 2 dice here on our panel, and we will give those both a roll and find out what it is that she has rolled. So she rolled a 1 and a 19, so she is going to die, which is very unfortunate. As we know, this is Theo's third wife, and the third wife to die in childbirth. So we will have him plead for her, but as we know, odds in this game of that working out is not good. For the babies, we got a 14 and a 17. They can't roll a 1, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, or 17. So Ren is going to pass away. Regina is going to live. So we will have to take Ren away from Mom. So we will lose Ren, and we are going to potentially lose Deborah. All right, so let's go ahead and we will take Ren away first. I'm so sorry, little Ren. So this one here that she was holding is Regina. Ren is, I believe, in the children's room. Yes, he is. All right, so let's go ahead and take Ren away. Goodbye, little Ren. I'm so sorry. All right, so we have lost little Ren, and now we are taking Deborah away. Unfortunately, she has passed away in childbirth, and we are going to have... I'm going to try to get Theo to plead for her. Well, he's just like, I'm going to go over here and talk to the crow. Could you maybe plead for your wife? And he's like... I can't be asked to do that. Maybe I can get someone else in the family to plead for her. Maybe we can get his eldest daughter to plead for her. I don't know. Someone in the family will plead for her, and then we will see if we can get her to potentially still live. I am really hoping that she's going to be able to make it, for the simple fact that she is his third wife. It would be the third wife to have died from childbirth, and if she does pass away, he will not be getting remarried again. He would just be raising these children by himself, and that will be it for Theo. So this family will have these 4 children. Whoever makes it, makes it. Whoever doesn't, doesn't. And we will see how it goes with this family, because I think I'm done providing wives to just die in childbirth. So, yeah. Theo refuses to plead for her, I am going to see if I can get his eldest to plead. Yes, she can. All right, great. So we're going to go ahead and get her to plead for Deborah. Maybe she can beg for mercy. She's like, please, please don't take my stepmother. I've already lost 2 mothers. And the Grimm is like, sorry, child, but I'm taking her. Right, that fell on deaf ears. We have truly lost Deborah. So we hate that, but Deborah is officially gone. And we now have just Theo and his 4 children. He is going to have to take care of little Regina all by himself here, which is not good. We have a child, a toddler, an infant, and a newborn. We hate that. So I will go ahead and engrave her epitaph here, and then we will place her tombstone here in the house somewhere. And then once that has been taken care of, I will go ahead and get Theo up so he can give Regina a little bit of a feed. So let's go ahead and just engrave her epitaph, and let's put her up here on the fireplace maybe. Can I do that? Yeah, I can. Okay, great. All right, so let's go ahead and get Theo up. We're going to have him come on in here and feed little Regina, and then we are probably going to go ahead and head over and see the Pruitt family, because as we know, we do need to go and see them because Thomas and his wife are needing to try for a little one, because it is due and definitely time for them to be trying to grow their family as well. So we are going to be heading over to see them. Oh, she's going to have a difficult family dynamic. Okay, well, that sucks. All right, so he is just going to go ahead and feed little Regina here. Regina, however you want to say it. And we are going to then head over to the Pruitt family. He is feeling really, really sad from losing another wife. He's once again a widow. And now this time he will remain a widow. So we hate that for Theo. But, yeah. Sometimes I guess it just is what it is. He is not meant to be married, clearly. But let's go ahead and head over to the Pruitt family, and I will see you when we get there. Okay, so we have arrived here at the Pruitt family, and as you can see, we are here with Mariella. We are just going to go ahead and see about getting her with child. She is going to approach Thomas and see about having him and her try for a little one. As we know, she did go ahead and try for a baby before, but I think that was unsuccessful. I believe they had a stillborn maybe. So they are going to go ahead and try again. We do want them to continue trying for little ones and trying to expand this family. So they are going to go ahead and come on downstairs and try again. And hopefully we can get this family to be expanding, because as of right now, we just have the 2 boys. Not that that's a bad thing, but we definitely want them to have a little bit bigger of a family. So they are going to go ahead and do just that. And then we will go ahead and we'll check and see if that were successful. And if she is going to be expecting children, I do think they have like 6 more baby tries. So they have, plenty of tries to continue to grow this family. And so we will keep trying for them. But we are going to be checking to see if this try was successful, and hopefully it was. And if that is the case, then we will be able to go ahead and grow this family and see an addition add. And I'm really hoping that she is going to have a successful birth and that she is not going to pass away, because yes, she is with child. But I am going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I will see you guys in our next episode of our Ultimate Decades Challenge, where we are going to be continuing on with our families and seeing what else is in store for them in 1407 Part B. And until next time, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.